Christian persecution is growing, according to research. Newly released information from a project called Under Caesar's Sword documents Christians' response to attacks on their freedoms. Family Research Council's Travis Weber attended a conference about the findings in Rome, and he's here with more. Travis, first of all, tell us about the project. What does it measure?
Sure. So the project is designed to measure how Christian communities around the world have responded to persecution. The scholars involved in the project, there's a number of scholars, examined Christian communities in many different locations and countries around the world and have studied how they've responded to their governments or other social actors' persecution of their communities. And the findings, as expected, have detailed different responses depending on the nature and type of persecution.
How will this help Christians in their fight for religious freedom?
Sure. I think it's going to be very useful in terms of raising awareness about the problem. A lot of Christians in the United States simply don't know the extent and type of persecution their brothers and sisters around the world are facing. We may hear of a few areas highlighted in the news, the Middle East under ISIS right now, obviously, but there are many other areas in which Christian communities face persecution. So I think, number one, education, awareness, that translates into solidarity in the church. And I think also this knowledge can be used by policymakers and legislators to directly impact legislatively and through law the need for protections of these communities.
So what was your biggest takeaway from the conference as far as standing for religious freedom and helping those whose lives are often at risk for claiming the name of Christ?
Sure. I think there were two takeaways. One, for me personally, just the disconnect a lot of the time between Christians in the United States and those overseas. And this could be said for Christians, for instance, in Western Europe, and for instance, those in Africa, or between different areas of the world, regardless of what they are specifically. I just think much of the time, and this came out at the conference, we share a bond in Christ, but people lead very different lives. And so there's a need to take deliberate steps to create this sense of oneness, or realize the sense of oneness between brothers and sisters, which is already there. I think that was a real clear takeaway, which, it's something clear to shoot for. I think number two, specifically in the example of China, there was very encouraging news which came out of China. The fact that the government is persecuting Christians there, yet the church continues to grow. So I think the takeaway is that even though we're going to fight for justice, and we need to continue that fight in the Middle East and elsewhere when there's a need, there's also the awareness that in the larger context, God is going to continue to grow His church regardless of what man may do to try to stop it.
Absolutely. Well, a lot of Christians here in America are wondering how can they keep connected with their brothers and sisters in Christ around the world with us, and are wondering, what can they do to help?
Sure. I think number one is just being aware. You can find out more through the Family Research Council. We're trying to increasingly raise awareness of this problem through our website at frc.org. Other groups document what's going on in many places. Open Doors, Christian Solidarity Worldwide, International Christian Concern, and there are others who are representing those, so to speak, raising awareness for those in the persecuted church around the world, and their websites will all have useful information. I think, we can encourage our pastors and those in our churches to talk about it and just talk amongst ourselves as Christians in our congregations locally throughout America. I think this will start to raise awareness of the problem and the issue, and this will translate into a sense of oneness and unity with those brothers and sisters. I think also, in addition to that, but flowing from it, is the need to let our elected officials, the president, and members of Congress know about the problem and that we care about it and want them to take steps to protect Christians overseas.
Yes, it all starts first with awareness. Travis Weber with the Family Research Council, your organization is doing great work. Thanks for your time.
Thank you.